All right, welcome everybody to the Dublin Town Hall. We are on Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026, here at the regular monthly meeting. We're going to begin this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance for those that are able to stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're going to have the roll call on the board.
Dan Wicker present.
Rick Snyder present.
Nathan Ulrich is present. We are missing tonight Jean and Bree for health reasons. All right, we got some guests that are going to speak tonight. We'll do all that first. If you don't mind, we have a podium set up now, and that makes it so the cameraman can focus on you, so everybody at home can see you and hear you, and kind of get an idea who's talking and what's going on. So if you would, when you speak, please go up to the podium. And first of all, tonight we have Acacia, and she's here from Ford Wayne County, and is going to talk about the strategic plan. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to fill us all in.
Welcome. Hello. My name is Acacia St. John. Maiden name's Martinez. I'm actually from Dublin. That's where I was born and raised, and a lifelong Wayne County resident. I'm here tonight to talk about the countywide strategic investment plan that Dublin opted into. I want to say I was here in November of 2024 is when we came and asked the communities who wanted to participate. So this was the county's effort to get everyone kind of on the same page, but really get some strategic priorities in place for their individual communities. And so we went around, all the incorporated communities in Wayne County were invited to participate. So 10 of the 14 communities did participate, and Dublin was one of those. And so from that, we met with the town leadership and we said, hey, what are your priorities? They had a great list. This document is available on the Wayne County government homepage. It is also linked on the Wayne County Commissioners page. So anybody can read it. You can, 153 pages of light reading. So if you would love to do that, you're welcome to do that. So from there, we had these great conversations with the town of Dublin and the officials and say, what are your priorities? What is important to you? What do you vision for your community? From then, we had community feedback sessions. The first one got canceled because I was out of the country and there was an ice storm that decided to descend upon the Wayne County area, and so we rescheduled that. But we had it was one of the second largest community meetings that we had here in Wayne County, and from there, residents confirmed what was the town priority. So from there, the next process is the Ford Wayne County Steering Committee looked at all these 10 communities, all the priority projects, and it was put into the strategic investment plan. So all the priorities, all the wish list is in the back of this document. But there were priority projects that were given kind of a 2-page spread, so it looks something similar to like this on each of those kind of priority projects. And to be eligible to be put into the priority project, it had to be a town priority. The citizens had to confirm that. And then the Ford Wayne County Steering Committee went through a process that said, both of those things first, and that these were feasible projects that were going to be, could happen for the town of Dublin. And so from that, there were 33 projects that were included. That included from the communities plus the county projects, and Dublin had 4 projects within this. And that's actually excellent, right? But there were things like, so there's a housing development. A lot of our communities across Wayne County need housing. That impacts your property taxes. It impacts all the things that you want as additional revenue into your communities. And so housing was one of those. Some utility improvements. I heard 1.4 million, so I was like, oh, I need to know a little bit more about that. Then there is a project that is the Wilson Park Splash Pad. So if you remember I'm going to use a lot of acronyms, so some of you in the room know what I'm talking about. Some of you may not, but when the town of Dublin went through the HELP program, the Hoosier Enduring Legacy program, they received some pretty significant funding through a community development block grant that committee decided, and that was part of the sewer water project. that you
water
did,
project.
yes, the water project, and then there was some additional funding to include the park improvements, which was the
Stay in place pads.
yeah, the stay in place pads. And so those were some additional things, and so from that, the next kind of priority project for the park is the potential splash pad. So town officials have done a lot of legwork on that, got some quotes, some professional estimates, and that is included in here as well. The last project is improvements to the community center, the Dublin Community Club. Long-standing organization within Dublin in and of itself, but it needs some upgrades. So those are the 4 projects that were included from the town of Dublin. On top of that, what we're looking to do is maybe have some additional conversations about your splash pad and the community center through the foundation. So for Wayne County, we are the community development arm of the Wayne County Community Foundation, which is a funder here in the county, and so we think that there was some potential within maybe those 2 areas that we could have some additional conversations. So I'm here tonight to ask, if you answer any of your questions. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at. So public or officials, now's your time.
Got you on the hot seat.
Yeah. I think I'm just really proud of the document in and of itself, but really, our smaller communities to really be proud of themselves, to really taking the initiative to do these kind of things. I think you saw with the HELP program, just by opting in, what you could get out of it. And so while this plan doesn't have any promise of funding, what you are is now prepared. So when those additional funding opportunities come along, you have 4 viable projects where you could put in front of that funder or submit or whatever to say, we're ready to go.
So given that, I mean, do you think it might be days, weeks, years, months? What kind of date do you think we might be looking at when potential funding might become available?
Well, it's interesting, in the last 5 years, in Wayne County, more than $50 million has come to us in grant funding. That's unprecedented. That's not even including the HELP money,
That's awesome.
right? So that was an additional $13.5-ish million. And so you just never know when that is coming. And so what you want to do is be prepared so you don't have to then do all the work when something happens. And so some of these bigger projects like housing development, utility improvements, those come along as state and federal funds come along. Some of these other like splash pad and community center upgrades, these are things that now you can apply for, patronicity campaigns, foundation funding. You could actually go after those funds that are designated for those type of projects. So the plan is 2026 through 2033. So it is a 7-year plan. So we're trying to work through all these different projects. And so you never know, but now you're ready.
For the bigger projects, because I know like the planning grants that we've done in the past, they were looked at as like 5 years. So you're saying 7 year after that we would have to do this again for the projects that we didn't.
Potentially.
Okay.
I think it also depends on how you move along with these
you're
projects now.
progressing.
If you're
Okay.
progressing, then it may not need to be redone.
Okay.
But if you haven't done anything with it, then that might be. But it sounds like you guys are moving some things pretty quickly.
When you do.
2 other things that have now come out of it. As part of this process, we did say that we would support some of the communities through kind of network sharing, et cetera. And so next week we have our first, what we're calling our government coalition. So our consulting firm that helped put the plan together, they are putting together some information days for things like, the financing and who do you need to talk to for this, or, just a lot of support over the next year. So you both received an email about that. But that will be every other month that we're going to do that. And then in April, we are organizing what's called an agency day. So we have invited all of the important state agencies, NDOT, Indiana Department of Transportation, Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, other agencies that will be invited to Wayne County, and all the participating SIP communities, Strategic Investment Plan communities, have been invited to that. So all those agencies will get a copy of this plan, so that it's not something, a submission as it comes in, it'll be right there in person. And then all of our community town representatives are invited to obviously attend that as well, so that you can get in front of an actual person and not just submit something through a system or something like that. So those are the next couple of things, but every other month there will be a meeting for this government coalition, which we said we would provide that additional support. And then we'll have some in-person days like the agency days, and there's some other ones coming throughout the year. So it's the start of a process. We've been a year into it. But again, a lot of good work that's coming out of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess the main thing is keep us abreast of when the next date is, the next thing we need to be involved in, so we can just kind of, hit it head on. So.
Correct. So again, this is on the Wayne County government homepage. It says Fort Wayne County Strategic Investment Plan. And then the town has a hard copy of this, but there's an electronic copy. You can read it at any point. But if you have any questions, my contact information is in here, or you can reach Julie or Nathan, and they can get you in touch with me. All right.
Any questions for Cassia?
All right. Thank you again to
Thank
Dublin
you.
for participating.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Joyce Marshall. And you brought your daughter, I'm assuming?
Oh no, just
Nope.
friends.
Friends? Okay.
I can be your daughter, I guess. Go ahead, Joyce.
If you don't mind, can you go up to the podium so they can see you on the camera?
Go ahead. Oh boy.
We don't bite.
Yeah, but I.
Okay. I come here to, because my water bill went up again, because I had a goof up in the basement. But I think I've got that solved, because I've put a heater down in there, a small one, that will keep the temperatures from doing anything to the. And I hope that will stop it.
So you had a water line freeze and bust, basically is what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Did your basement fill up with water again this time? So I think last time it was coming through the floor, wasn't it? You got so much water come up through your floor?
Yeah, but I don't think it did that this time.
It drained real well.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
There's no water in there.
But when the guys read meters, that's when they noticed consumption was quite large, so.
If you look at both the leaks or whatever, it's almost 1 million gallons, isn't it?
Yes,
'Cause it's happened twice now,
twice.
and the tower only holds 150,000, isn't it?
Yeah, that tells you how many tower she's went through.
Yeah.
Basically, as with the previous leak, anything over 100,000 gallons, our policy is for them to, if they need be, they could come and request hardship. And that's what Joyce is doing. Our policy has been, which I've already talked to Michael on the sewer side, because it did not go through the sewer, so he was okay with taking you down to your normal average, which wrote off quite a bit. And then our policy is whatever that is, we split that in half on the water. You would be responsible for half, and we would take off half if that's what the board chooses. So in doing that, because with this, and don't fall over, you hang on to that, your bill with this leak was $4,304.27. So everybody sees how substantial and why a hardship is needed, and that's a 1 month bill. That would put you down to, let me make sure I'm doing this right with the hardship of $2,340.18. So that would be monthly payments of $265 to be paid alongside your current bill each month, like you've done in the past. This one overrides the other one, so this is the new one. And that would start in March, because you did make a payment already for February. Okay. So if the board is okay with that, then, and you're okay with those numbers, because it would, before it was I think 96, and this is gonna be 265 plus your current bill, so it could have run around $300-400 a month. But that's,
Try not to get too nosy, but is it like plastic lines that are busting, or what's going on? Is it something a plumber needs to come in and?
I think they were plastic. I think it's what he showed me when he removed some of them.
Just
And
wondering what we can do to prevent this from happening again.
yeah, I fixed it so I put a heater down in there to keep anything getting that cold.
we had, she had another resident who volunteered, and Lisa volunteered their time to come in, find the leak, and work on it. He came in today and explained he's repaired 3 lines, and then there was an area in the back bathroom that froze, and they had to get that thawed out so they could see what was wrong there. And he was fixing that, and that's, I think, what they decided to, after they got the pipes repaired, was to put that in there.
They use short bites and that flexible pipe,
Flex pipe. Mhm.
flex pipe.
Yeah,
And that's what he replaced it with.
okay.
So
Did we read this each month? The meter?
Yes.
So it's like 3 or,
Mhm.
okay. So there's nothing we could have done any different on our end, so. Are you okay with these terms?
I'm satisfied with them.
Okay. I don't see any trouble with it. Any from the board
No, I
got
don't
comments?
No. Will you make a motion or no? I make a motion, we accept the contract with Joyce to resolve the water bill here.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, so that motion will pass.
I have one question. The floor in your basement, is it gravel or, you know, where the water
yes,
Dirt
I,
floor.
leaks
it's
out?
gravel.
it's gravelly. Yeah,
Okay. I'm just kinda wondering, cause you know, almost 500,000 gallons, it's gotta go somewhere.
I know,
Yeah.
because I was shocked. I went down under there myself. I was really surprised there was no water.
It went-
Even Lenny went
Yeah.
down and he was kind of surprised too.
I think the first time it was definitely there. I think this one found a way, because this one was in a different part of the basement. So it had a way to get away more than the other leak she had did.
Lenny says he thinks it went down the storage
Storm sewer.
drain. Yeah, because I walked her yard, there was nothing wet in her yard. Because it had to come up someplace, so I thought, okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk it, but it was dry.
Yeah.
Did you lose water at all,
Pressure?
or just low pressure?
see that again.
Did you lose total water, or did you just have low pressure before you realized it? Or you didn't
I
know it
lost,
at all?
I actually lost pressure.
Okay,
Just thought, you know,
Yeah,
it
get
was
stopped.
one day and then the next
Okay.
wasn't there.
Next time you have that, contact me, and maybe we can get on it sooner, so maybe there's not as big of a responsibility. So, yeah, anytime you have a concern, in anyone, if you start losing water pressure, or, you know, not just no water, but if you start losing water pressure, that, especially in the wintertime, that is time to contact us so we can investigate it. Okay?
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Next up, we have our friend Thomas from Commonwealth. He's doing our water engineering and grants. So you're welcome to share with us, sir.
I gotta play Thomas today. I need to start visiting you guys more often.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Thomas, so where's he at?
It's all good.
Is he on vacation?
He had a conflict tonight, and I was available and told him I'd be more than happy to come out. You want me to leave?
Good man. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
These
please,
guys,
Commissioner.
can I get one? Yes, sir. I won't go through this verbatim, but I just want to hit the highlights. I put this status report together. Again, I'm Rob Bellucci with Commonwealth Engineers. I just wanted to put together a quick status report on kind of what's been happening behind the scenes. I know Thomas has been coming and updating you guys monthly. We are working kind of toward the next phase, right, of the water project, and that's the upgrades out at the water treatment plant. And there's a little bit of work at the elevated tank, but it's primarily focused on the water plant. Obviously, the sense of urgency has continued to increase with some of the recent things that Lenny's been having to deal with out there. And, while it's never good to have to deal with that stuff, we're certainly going to be able to use it to our advantage to help make our case even stronger with the funding agencies. What we've been working on, what Thomas has been working on with your team is the funding application for USDA. It's all online. He's completed the initial draft, and we've reviewed it internally, and we've got a few things that we flagged on our end that need to be updated to kind of make things jive with the preliminary engineering report. That's going to be in progress. Thomas will be reaching out. Are you working through your year-end financials for 2025? Are those in a pretty good spot?
I'm done with that.
Okay.
And I have spoke to the auditors to let them know that I will need a full audit for 2025 as well.
Okay, perfect. When was the last one that you had done?
They're finishing it right now through 24.
Okay.
But it's not a full audit, it's a
So-
review.
So, we're pushing out the USDA funding application. That's kind of our priority now. They were at the end of the first government shutdown, when they funded them, USDA got fully funded. So, and their budgeted allocation has been received by the state, right? So those funds are sitting there waiting to get put out to projects. So we're working diligently to get that USDA application wrapped up and submitted. RD's had some change of USDA rule development. RD has had some turnover in their staff. They now have, effective January 1, a new director of the community programs group. I've worked with her a lot over the years. She had briefly left, and they recruited her back, and she's good. Since the beginning of the year, I've started to see a significant difference in their responsiveness, which is encouraging. They've got a newer group, but they're getting it figured out. We are working through finalizing the application process. Once that's done, Thomas will reach out to you guys because it has to be submitted electronically, and he'll walk you through that process if you're not already set up to do the online. I forget what the term is, but it's some sort of online authorization. E-authorized, I think is what they call it. In conjunction with that, my team's updating the original preliminary engineering report. We're just doing a double check with all the equipment vendors to make sure costs are current, and then making sure all the environmental boxes can be checked on that. Those eventually get attached to that USDA application. Thomas previously did a public hearing. I'm leaning toward asking to get on your March meeting agenda to go ahead and do another public meeting just in case. What I don't want to have happen is have everything I's dotted, T's crossed, the funding agencies are great with it, and then have them come back and say, oh, by the way, do another meeting. So better safe than sorry. If you could get me on the agenda, we'll do, it'll be 5 or 10 minutes. It won't take up much of your time, but I want to do another public meeting for the USDA application, but also we're going to go ahead and resubmit the SRF application as well. If you recall, when we submitted it either last year or the year before last, we had submitted, we go big or stay home. We went after everything, and we've, as a part of cleaning up the preliminary engineering report for the USDA piece of it, we're obviously dialing back phase 2 to solely focus on the water plant and the tank. And I want to resubmit that SRF application. Plus, with all the recent things that have happened, again, it paints a better picture. So when we do that public meeting in March, it'll be a joint one. That'll check both boxes for RD and SRF. Really, with that, we're just grinding behind the scenes, getting everything wrapped up, put up. and ready to submit. The deadline for that SRF application is the end of March. Ideally, once we have our public meeting, in March, we'll also be submitting the RD application around the same time. So that's kind of where we're at. I tried to summarize everything in this document. If you guys go through it, when you get time and you have specific questions, just reach out to me or reach out to Thomas and we'll report back to you.
Well, is that gonna be just like this, or do I need to advertise that as a public hearing?
It gets advertised as a public hearing and it has special language that has to be included.
Don't you guys do that?
We do, and that's what I was gonna say. We'll take care of all that.
Okay.
That legwork. We'll coordinate with the local paper, we'll make sure that the proper language is included,
Okay.
and we typically handle it, this makes it easier that way, it's something that we do quite a bit, so. But it will be advertised as a joint funding application meeting for SRF and USDA, that way we can check those boxes,
Okay.
okay? The only other question I have for you guys, remind me again who we have used or plan on using for financial consultants.
Baker
Do
Tilly.
you guys use Baker Tilly?
Doug.
Okay, perfect. I'll probably reach out to him and just give him a heads up on kind of where we're at in the process. And then that way he can stay in the loop. As we get closer to submitting these applications, I may shoot out an email from you guys requesting availability, just to get the group on a quick call. That way, if anybody has any questions, we're kind of all operating off the same page.
I think he has a little bit idea, because I had to see what years I needed full audit and what review, so he was.
From the
he got that
SRF
with me.
side, I think our audit's gotta be within 2 years.
Okay.
But so their fiscal year starts July 1, whereas the federal government starts October 1. So if you're already started down that path, they're just gonna wanna see that audit completed before we close on our finance. So you got a little bit of time, but it's good that you've already initiated the process.
Rob, just for the record, and I probably heard this, but just so everybody else knows, the funds that we have not seen yet, but are promised, it's going through Congress, which organization is that from?
It's from your local congressional representative. And I wanna say it's tied to the EPA, but I'll have to verify that and double check.
Okay.
We're still navigating through kind of the backroom discussions to get a better understanding on how access to those funds work. Because I don't want any surprises, right?
Is this a new thing, or is it something that's been going on? We just aren't really aware of it.
Earmarks aren't new, right? The people in Washington, they get elected and they wanna take care of their communities. Full disclosure, it's not something that I've had an opportunity to take advantage of historically, right? But
We always like to do it first.
I'm psyched about it, because there's only a handful of us company-wide that have this opportunity presented to them, and I think it's freaking awesome. So, I just wanna make sure that there's no surprises on the back end. And the best example that I can give you guys is I recently completed a project that received a grant from the U.S. Economic Development, EDA, administration. And I'm in the process of wrapping up construction on a water project that also has like a $1.7 million EDA grant. Those grants, those federal grants, are reimbursement grants, meaning you have to show payment up front and then you submit to the grant to get reimbursed. I just want to make sure that the grant that we have isn't going to go down that path. And it may not. It may be like any other traditional utility program where you submit requests as you go and they provide you with the funds. But if for some reason it's not, we just need to be prepared on the front end to have those funds available to us to pay our contractors, right? And then as we get the reimbursement, we pay it back. So I don't know for a fact that that's how that program works, but those are some of the questions that I have that I'm trying to navigate through on the back end. Just again, I don't want there to be any surprises with this thing.
Appreciate
You guys, what other questions can I answer for you folks?
No?
No, I think we're good, I mean,
We kind of went through this process once, but now we're coming at it double barrel, going after RD and SRF, so. It's a good project, RD is aware of it, obviously the federal government's seeing it, so that helps. So I'm encouraged by it,
Very good. Appreciate it.
that's my update.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
See you next month at a public hearing.
you will, absolutely.
Bring Thomas with you. Tell him miss him.
I'll make him drive.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and, have Officer Frame give his report, so you're not here with us all night.
no problem.
I'm Officer Cody Frame with the Cambridge City Police Department. We had a total of 27 calls the month of January. We had one 911 hang-up, one business alarm, one animal problem. We assisted DCS with one call, two civil disputes, two domestics that were verbal, one fall, one flag down call, one harassment call, one internet crimes call. We investigated one theft. I had a mental emotional person call, one vehicle crash that involved injury, and then two vehicle crashes that did not. It was just property damage. Had one shoplifting call and four suspicious vehicle calls. Had a total of 2 traffic stops within the town of Dublin, one VIN check and 2 welfare checks for a total of 27.
If you're allowed to say, or if you know, was the shoplifter caught in the act, or was it just a report?
I could not tell you. I do not know what case that would be on. If you guys would like that information, you can always ask Chief Richard Roberts. He delivers that information. If it is a case that I was on, I would be happy to share it, but I just don't know, honestly.
I just hope they got caught.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't tell you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
Yeah.
If you can send back to the team as we start getting warmer, if we can try and crack down on like the abandoned vehicles and that kind of stuff to keep the town looking nice as we
Good deal.
head for the warm months and try and take pride in the community, that would be much appreciated.
Good deal. Yep, we'll do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Chief Myers, you want to give the fire report?
January 2026, ALS runs 0, BLS 146, 911 runs with Reed 4, fire runs 1 Dublin, and personal assist 1 structure fire with Cambridge. Total of 3,100 gallons of water.
The lady had a kerosene heater on fire in her living room, she wanted to take it out of the house, and she didn't want to touch it. It was an easy call, my favorite. All right, any other questions for the fire chief? All right, moving right along. Has the board had a chance to read the minutes from last month?
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes and the adjustments as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Not opposed, that motion passes. We got the building, or the superintendent report in front of us. Lenny is working on a water main break down between GNS and Lakeview in 40, so he can't leave that, obviously. So they've got a, I don't know what the actual size of pipe is, but I think 2 inches, the word I heard, and it's a ductile piece, so it's kind of one of those deals that they've got 40 open, they can't quit, so they're working on it throughout the night, and I think bringing in coolies, so to my knowledge, and I asked him if we can try and alleviate having to do a boiler advisory, please do that, so hopefully everything by this time tomorrow will be back to normal, so we will not hear from Lenny this evening.
We didn't have any building permits.
Okay. He did send his report. If anybody's got a question, I'd be happy to try and send it back to him or get clarification on. You have a clerk report you wanna share with us, ma'am?
Going back on his, we did end up getting the,
Dump truck fix.
we originally got quotes for the dump truck repair, but since we have the snow, those repairs took a, front seat. We had to replace actuators and that, so we, Wetzel did those repairs, that, reminding that's where we purchased the vehicle. So everything is done, and they had to do a blower motor, and, install that, and Lenny and Brandon did that this morning before they went down to use the dump truck down there. So, hopefully, we won't have any more snow, but if we do, we're ready for it. As far as my reports, you've got your fuel report and, your time cards. Instead of doing the time cards, I've kind of put them all on one summary, make it a little simpler. If anybody prefers the other way or wants something different, please let me know. That's all I have of my reports.
We'll have to talk about the sale of meters.
We did have, and I don't have the name, a gentleman come in and they purchased our old water meters. They took some of them with them, where they give us a double, 2 payments. They split it into 2 payments because they took all of the old ones. I think there was like 234. And then we had 8 transformers that needed to be disposed of. That's got hazardous material in it and stuff. And they agreed to take those as well, included in that price. So I think it was like $550 altogether that we got as a recycling fee for them taking those off our hands.
Does this council approve that? Because they really need to approve any sale of surplus property.
Okay, I guess I need your permission
Yeah.
for that.
And you can do it without bids if it's under $5,000. If it's more than $5,000, you have to actually accept bids to sell any surplus property.
Okay,
Almost more of a disposal fee
Yeah.
yes.
for toxic.
I'll make a motion to take care of that.
I'll second him.
All in favor, aye?
Do you have the name of who?
None opposed, motion passes.
I have it over there in my
Okay, the
receipt
minutes
book.
should reflect.
Yeah, I'll have it. Okay, Rex, Danny, and Freno.
Yep.
Okay, and, yeah, I was made aware also that we need to make sure that we get the
ID numbers.
ID numbers off all the transformers, because those are actually registered to the town. So I will get those as well. And
When you say ID, is that like a digital number?
Yeah, they're just stamped on the transformer. That's your, you know how they keep track of them and stuff. Do we sell those by the weight, or how we, do you know how we,
just,
transformers just
they just,
give you a price for
they
it?
just gave him a
Okay,
price,
all right,
my understanding.
Okay.
Anything else under the clerk's report?
I think that's it for that.
Can you skip over the planning
Yeah, I'm
commission?
gonna put that under old.
Yeah, we skipped that.
Okay.
We're gonna put that down here.
Okay.
I know we talked about the life recovery group, just putting that officially out there. The town council approved $500 donation for the life recovery group on the opioid, from the opioid funds.
Dublin Gospel Mission Church is doing that ministry, and for those who remember, they came last month and gave us a presentation on that, so that's the, we come up with $500 to donate to them, if I can get a motion on the floor.
Make a motion, we give $500 to the life recovery group.
Second?
Second it?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
None opposed, that motion passes. What do you got for Blight Edition?
Wayne County had some additional funds, and they were reaching out to the communities that participated and wanted to know if we had any additional needs, which we know of at least one. There is a landlord that is dealing with another one, so that's not in our hands. But with that, the requirement, everything would have to be done from the start of saying it's a blight, going through the advertising, going through the bidding process after you give them opportunity to make the repairs, and get the bid, get it tore down, and get it paid before the end of the year. And Lenny wasn't sure we would be able to get all those timelines.
You can, you
Would
first,
be-
you
would be-
have to
have
first
enough
declare it as an unsafe building, and tell what has to be done on it, and give them the opportunity. We can get, there's enough time to do
Is there
that.
enough time?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Was there like a minimum they gave us, like it had to be so many houses or so big of a project or anything like that?
No, she just asked if we had any that needed done, and we were aware of at least one. If there's more, I'm sure, you know, if we had a lot, we would have to put them in there, and they would decide, you know, they might come back and say, well, you know, you've got this much money, but she didn't put a dollar amount on that at this time.
Okay. So I guess what's our next step? Is there a deadline on timing?
No, just, let me get with Lenny and see if he, sometimes you'll give a preliminary letter to, kind of a warning to them. I don't know if has he given
No,
any
he
letters at
hasn't.
all? He's done
No.
nothing to that.
No.
You don't have to do that, so we could step, to accelerate the process, could step right to the letter that declares it an unsafe building and give them a time. And if it's gonna, is it a tear down situation? Is that the fix rather than
I would
repair?
believe so.
Well,
In
we
my
gotta talk to
opinion,
the
yeah.
property owners, is what I was thinking of, you know. You really just gotta get with them, see what their initial plan is. You know, see what they,
Because if the required fix is a complete tear down, then we have to have a hearing before him. If it's something less than that, he has the opportunity to demand a hearing before you. So it depends on what the fix is that you want to be done to that unsafe property.
So probably we definitely need, because we've not spoken with this property owner at all, so we might want to do the preliminary.
You might want to
First.
do that first.
Okay.
Do you know the address of it?
I know it's East Cumberland, but I don't know what the address is.
Was there a deadline though on the grant, or did she give any detail on that?
She just said that
To have it all completed by the
everything
end
had
of
to
the
be
year.
completed by the end of the year. I told her I didn't know that we could get that done, but I would get back with her after this meeting,
Tell
so,
her we will make every effort to, and I think we can.
okay. I guess I would need, like, how long we have to give
Each
them for
step,
each, so
yeah.
that I can make sure that we here in this
I'll give
office
you a
are.
calendar, a diary.
Okay, thank you.
Good on that?
Yes.
All right, we got planning commission. We talked about the planning commission last month, and I appointed Matt as a position to fill under any. We did do checking on the primary election, and that did not, I kind of got ahead of myself, I guess, last month and appointed you to that, so that did not come back as we hoped, at least as of yet. So I've got to pull you back, at least for now, and we'll revisit that at a later date. I do have another application before me, and before I jump ahead on that, I'm gonna have Julie do the homework and check with the election office and see how his primary results all came back, so,
I have reached out, she's not got back with me yet.
okay. So we can table that till next month.
Okay.
Is it appropriate to read the name, Bob?
Yep,
Okay.
because they haven't officially applied for that position.
So this would be Michael Tuggle, from East Cumberland Street. You want me to read the whole thing, or is that enough?
That's fine.
Okay. Tuggle.
And of course, the issue that's just coming up is that no more than two can be of the same party.
Correct.
Is how the law is worded. And so it's not that they have to be of another, they just can't be of the same. So that's why we said that, like if you, and I think you do have two Republicans now on,
Yes.
of your four appointments.
Yes.
And so the other two can't be Republicans, they could be Libertarian, they could be Unitarian or something, Democrat, but.
So the one position's a Democrat and the other one is an any. So that means a Libertarian or Independent.
And with the independent, I had a question if they've, in verifying things, if they've only voted in one primary, and it's not one that we need to fill, can we wait until, when does this have to be done?
Oh,
Can
another
this-
primary? Well, there is a process by which if they've only done one, it was, let's say they took one ballot as Republican, and then they say, well, I'm no longer Republican, you can sign an affidavit to that, and if you maybe even have the chair of the Democrat Party or another party say, yeah, we're willing to accept that he's not a Republican, then I think you could get by with that, so.
Okay, and that would be the Wayne County chair?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Which is Rudder, is that right?
Well, I don't know who the Democrat chair is. You need to have the approval of that other party. I don't think the Republican chair would say, oh, yeah, well, he's not a Republican, let him on, because you're trying to do this in favor of the other
Of the
party.
other party,
So.
okay.
Clear as mud.
Yeah,
And you want the applicant to swear that he is not considering himself a Republican at this time.
and you can help me with
Mhm,
that?
I do.
Okay.
Anything
These-
else?
These seats have been empty for a very, very long time, so we are trying to work diligently to have community people on here.
And you can, when you're having trouble filling them anyway, you can be a little, not shady, but more liberal on your interpretations.
Okay.
I don't like that word, but we'll go along with it.
More flexible, do you like
There
that
you go, I
better?
like
More
that.
flexible, more flexible, that's much better.
All right, anything else under old business? Did not make the agenda. All right, going into new business. Julie's got a resolution for us, R3 2025.
Basically, that was year-end transfers between appropriations. And again, basically, if I'm within the same fund, money, I still have the same budget, but some of those appropriations, I didn't use as much, and other ones, for one reason or another, we used more, so we're just swapping that money from one line item to another within the same budget fund.
Any questions over the resolution from the board? Not, I'll make or seek a motion to approve R3 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
None opposed, that motion passes. I don't have anything else for new business on the agenda. Is anything from the board? If not, we ready to pay the bills?
I make a motion, we accept the claims as presented.
There's a motion to pay the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, ma'am.
Okay.
Final.
Rex.
Rex and Danny.
Okay.
They've been on it tonight. All right, last but not least is approving the financial report.
Starting a new year, 2025 is complete and closed, and I did not print, so I'll put it on the next month's for approval of the annual financial report.
Do you know when we'll get the results back from the audit?
It's been submitted. I believe she's done with us, and it goes back to the committee to review. And then they will contact you and I for an exit conference, and anyone else that would like to be involved in that can, they will send a notice out to everybody. And they'll go through everything, comments, concerns, and anything like that. And as I told Rob, I will let them know, because I asked them if they could go ahead and do the full audit for 2025 while they were here, and they can't. But she said the sooner we get it notified, they can get it on the schedule. So
And is this a cost to the town, or does the state eat the cost of this?
No, this is ours, cause it's something we do anyway. Now, whether, I think it's all on us either way.
Yes.
Wonderful.
But a full audit means they go through every single piece of paper. With a review, it's a little different, so.
All right, motion to approve the financial report.
I make a motion, we approve the financial.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anyone have any announcements before we close out tonight? Attaboys, complaints? All right, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
So moved. We'll see you next month.